Most men think they'll know when a woman cares. They expect clear signals, strong words, obvious effort. But what usually happens is this. She doesn't say much. She doesn't chase. She doesn't explain herself. And later, the man looks back and realizes, she cared and I missed it. Not because she was unclear, but because care doesn't always look the way men expect it to. This video is about those moments. The small, quiet behaviors that don't scream interest, but quietly hold space for it. If you've ever felt confused after something felt good, but never turned into anything clear, this might finally give words to that experience. What this video is really about. Women often show care indirectly. Not because they're playing games, not because they want men to guess, but because emotional safety matters more than intensity. Many men overlook these signs because they're trained to look for big gestures, fast escalation, clear verbal validation. But genuine care often shows up as restraint, not pursuit. Research in attachment theory suggests that securely attached individuals, those most capable of healthy relationships, tend to express care through consistency and emotional regulation rather than dramatic displays. This means the quietest expressions of interest may actually signal the strongest foundation for something real. Understanding this doesn't give you control. It gives you clarity. Today, we'll walk through 9 subtle, often missed things women do when they genuinely care. These are not guarantees. They are patterns. This video isn't about assumptions. It's about awareness. 1. She adjusts her pace instead of pushing yours. When a woman cares, she often doesn't rush things. She may slow conversations down, take time to respond, create space instead of urgency. Not because she's uninterested, but because she wants to see how you handle space. Does he stay grounded? Or does he get anxious? Does he interpret silence as rejection? Or can he exist comfortably in the natural rhythm of 2 independent lives connecting? Care here shows up as regulated energy, not excitement overload. This pacing is actually a sign of emotional intelligence. Women who have experienced relationships built on intensity rather than substance often learn that sustainable connection requires breathing room. When she creates this space, she's not testing you maliciously. She's assessing compatibility at a fundamental level. This does not mean she wants you to chase harder. It means she's checking emotional rhythm. If you feel calm instead of confused, you're reading it correctly. If you feel the urge to flood her with messages or manufacture urgency, that's information about your own anxiety, not about her level of interest. 2. She remembers small details you didn't highlight. She remembers things you mentioned casually, not your achievements, not your stories meant to impress, but the small stuff. How you take your coffee, a stress you mentioned once, a boundary you quietly set, the book you said you wanted to read, the way you described your relationship with your sibling, the small frustration you had at work. This isn't strategy, it's attention. Psychologists note that we tend to remember details about people we're emotionally invested in. This happens unconsciously. Our brains prioritize information about individuals who matter to us. When she recalls something you barely remember sharing, it reveals where her attention has been. Care grows through presence, not performance. It doesn't mean she's already attached. It means she's listening. And in a world where genuine listening is rare, this matters more than most men realize. 3. She creates comfort, not drama. When a woman cares, interactions feel easy. No emotional spikes. No tests meant to provoke reactions. No chaos to demand reassurance. You feel more like yourself around her, not less. This is one of the most missed signs because many men confuse intensity with attraction. They mistake emotional turbulence for passion. They think drama means she's invested. But care often feels like relaxed conversation, natural silence, emotional steadiness, the ability to be boring together without the connection feeling threatened. Research on relationship satisfaction consistently shows that emotional stability, not intensity, predicts long-term success. When interactions feel comfortable rather than charged, it often means she trusts the connection enough to let it exist without constant stimulation. If things feel calm and real, don't underestimate that. The relationships that last aren't built on adrenaline. They're built on safety. 4. She shares vulnerability in small, controlled ways. She doesn't trauma dump. She doesn't overshare. But she lets you see something human. A fear, a past disappointment, a personal doubt, a moment when she didn't have it all together. Then she watches, not to test dominance, but to test safety. Can he listen without fixing? Can he hold space without using it? Can he receive vulnerability without treating it as weakness or burden? This matters because vulnerability is the foundation of intimacy. Researcher Brené Brown's work shows that genuine connection requires the courage to be seen. When a woman shares something real, not curated, not impressive, just honest, she's offering you access to who she actually is. Care here is cautious and intentional. She's not testing whether you'll rescue her. She's testing whether you can be trusted with the parts of her that aren't polished. 5. She checks how you respond to her boundaries. When she cares, she doesn't avoid boundaries. She sets them. Not aggressively, not defensively, just clearly. And she pays attention to how you react. Do you respect it without resentment? Do you stay calm without pulling away? Do you hear, "not right now," without making it mean "not ever"? This is crucial. Boundaries aren't obstacles to intimacy. They're prerequisites for it. Women who care about building something real will establish limits early because they understand that respect demonstrated at the beginning determines the safety of the relationship later. This isn't rejection. It's trust assessment. When she says no to something small, a request for her time, a question that feels too personal too soon, a pace that feels rushed, and you respond with understanding rather than pressure, you're proving that her comfort matters more than your convenience. Care deepens where boundaries are honored. In fact, healthy boundaries allow care to grow because both people feel safe enough to be authentic. 6. She invites you into her world slowly. Not instantly, not dramatically, but gradually. She mentions friends by name, shares parts of her routine, talks about things that matter to her, not just to impress you, references future plans that aren't necessarily about you, showing you who she is independent of this connection. This isn't a fast merge. It's careful inclusion. When women have been hurt before, they learn that introducing someone to their full life too quickly can create entanglement before compatibility is established. But when she begins to fold you into her world, mentioning you to people she trusts, including you in plans that matter to her, it signals that she's imagining you as part of her reality, not just a temporary presence. If she's opening her life bit by bit, that matters. It means she's not just attracted to you. She's considering you. 7. She notices emotional shifts, not just actions. She notices when you're off, not because you said something, but because your energy changed. Your texts feel slightly different. Your usual humor is muted. You seem present but distant. She may ask gently or simply adjust how she interacts with you. This shows emotional attunement. It doesn't mean she wants to manage your feelings. It means she's aware of them. Emotional attunement is a sign of genuine care because it requires attention and investment. When someone notices the subtle shifts in your emotional state, it reveals that they're paying attention beyond surface-level interaction. They're tracking the texture of your presence, not just the content of your words. Care often lives in awareness. An awareness like this cannot be faked. 8. She gives space without disappearing. This one confuses a lot of men. She gives you room, but she doesn't vanish. She doesn't flood you with messages. She doesn't cut contact either. She maintains a steady, low-pressure presence. You might not hear from her every day, but when you do, it feels genuine. It's balanced. This shows trust, not indifference. She believes connection doesn't need constant pressure to survive. Many people raised in anxious attachment patterns believe that relationships require constant contact to remain secure. But women who care deeply and healthily understand that space allows both people to maintain their individuality while building something together. If she can give you room without it feeling like abandonment, and stay connected without it feeling like surveillance, you're dealing with someone who understands how healthy relationships actually function. 9. She lets you be unimpressive without losing interest. This is subtle, but powerful. She doesn't lose warmth when you're not on. She doesn't withdraw when you're quiet, unsure, or ordinary. When you're having a bad day and aren't your sharpest, funniest, most impressive self, she doesn't check out. She stays present. Care doesn't require you to perform. This matters because many men spend their lives trying to earn affection through achievement, humor, or constant entertainment. But sustainable care isn't transactional. It isn't contingent on you maintaining a certain persona. When a woman cares, she cares about who you are on your average Tuesday, not just who you are at your peak. If you feel accepted without needing to impress, pay attention. That's one of the rarest and most valuable forms of care you'll encounter. How to respond without ruining it. When you notice these signs, here's what not to do. Don't rush intimacy. Don't demand clarity. Don't emotionally attach faster than the connection grows. Don't treat these signs as confirmation that you can stop showing up with intention. Care grows best when met with calm presence. What to do instead? Stay consistent, not intense. Communicate interest without pressure. Let things unfold without trying to lock them down prematurely. Match her emotional pace rather than imposing your own timeline. Respect the pace. Respect yourself. If she cares, pressure will shrink it. Calm confidence will grow it. Understanding these patterns doesn't mean you should analyze every interaction or treat human connection like a puzzle to solve. These signs matter most when you're already feeling something real and trying to understand whether it's mutual. The point isn't to gain leverage. It's to recognize care when it's being offered quietly. Care is often quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't chase certainty. It grows in safety. It deepens in patience. Understanding signals helps, but self-worth matters more. Because even if you can accurately read every sign a woman gives, it means nothing if you don't believe you deserve to be cared for in the first place. The men who build genuine connections aren't the ones who master reading signals. They're the ones who show up as themselves and trust that the right person will see value in that. If this video gave you clarity, like it. If one sign felt familiar, comment below. And if you want more grounded, emotionally intelligent dating insights, subscribe to SoulTalker. We don't teach chasing. We teach awareness. Take care of yourself. The right connections notice that first.